Hello and welcome to Ames in Focus, the podcast that brings you closer to the people and projects shaping life in our city. I'm Bill Gebhardt with Communications and Outreach at the City of Ames. If you've ever looked around your house and wondered, how did I end up with 4 coffee makers, 3 lamps that don't match, and a beanbag chair I haven't touched since 2018? Today's episode is for you. We're talking about one of Ames' biggest community sustainability events, the 10th annual Rummage RAMPage. Joining me today are 2 people who have helped make this event a success year after year. Mary Rankin, Director of Sustainability at Iowa State University, and Susan Gwiasda, Communications and Outreach Manager for the City of Ames. Welcome back.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Good to be here.
So let's start with the basics. So for someone who's never heard of Rummage RAMPage, and I can't imagine there's many people that haven't heard of Rummage RAMPage, but for someone who hasn't heard of it, what exactly is it?
Well, Rummage RAMPage is an annual event that the city, in partnership with Iowa State University, has put on now for 10 years, as you recognized our 10-year anniversary. And it came out of, I think, the thought, sort of the sadness of seeing a community that changes over every summer with leases, and we see all this stuff on the curbside that ends up in the landfill. And we started looking at what are other college communities doing to get that usable stuff in the hands of people who need it and keep it out of the landfill. And I believe, Mary, you started by doing some research along with Resource Recovery, what other communities in Iowa were doing.
That's correct. And actually, I have to give a lot of credit to Resource Recovery. Lori Hansen, that used to be with Resource Recovery, had gotten inspiration from an event that Iowa City was doing, Rummage in the Ramp, and said, hey, we should do this in our community. It took us a while to figure out exactly the ebb and the flow that we thought would be the best fit for Ames, but it's been an incredible success.
And so this is the 10th year, and 10 years is quite a milestone. So how have you guys seen this change over the 10 years that it's been going?
Well, we've definitely put a lot more structure into the event. We really had the mindset 10 years ago that this was a community garage sale, and that we were just going to put this stuff out and people were going to buy it. And it really wasn't going to generate a lot of money because we didn't really care. That wasn't the purpose. It was to get the stuff into the hands of people who needed it. And we had a fair amount of nonprofits that liked that concept and were willing to help us. And, you know, it's funny, over the years, this event has generated a significant amount of funding, but that has never been the incentive for people to get involved. They really believe in the idea of let's not throw away things that have a second life. And I think that's been one of the big changes, is that that core concept of this being a waste diversion program has stayed with us, but we've just provided a lot more structure around it, and the event has grown every single year.
I do think the community's really embraced this event. It, as Susan mentioned, it started as an event that we were offering to students that lived off campus as they were moving out and they no longer needed items. And this has just grown to residents saying, hey, we're downsizing. Hey, we may be moving a family member into a different living situation. Hey, we've had this stuff in our basement forever. Maybe we should see if somebody wants it. And indeed, people want it. They love the concept of supporting those community organizations that volunteer at the event. And it's just really a win-win-win all the way around.
Absolutely. I know that I've been there. I haven't been there as much as you guys, but in the last 6 years, I'm usually there every day for a little bit. And I see some of the same people. And I'm not talking about volunteers. I'm talking about residents. Like, they're there shopping every single day that I'm there, taking pictures and doing that stuff too. So definitely, I believe that they have really embraced what this is. So you mentioned it that every year thousands of items avoid going to the landfill. So Mary, why is an event like this so important from a sustainability standpoint?
Well, sustainability has 3 facets, and this event absolutely strikes upon each of those. Certainly, we think about the environmental standpoint and items going to the landfill. And this event offers another option for that. And many of these items are not ready for the landfill. They're not ready for the garbage. They just are unneeded. Individuals find they can't take them with them. They no longer need them, those sorts of things. And so from an environmental standpoint, hundreds of tons of material we have kept out of the landfill. Then there's the economic standpoint. And the economic standpoint it's kind of twofold for this event. On the one hand, it's the consideration of individuals that need items and would otherwise be going out and looking at buying items full price. Particularly, that's really effective for certainly a number of our residents, but definitely students that are coming to Iowa State, particularly international students. The other economic piece is all the proceeds that are being raised to benefit missions of organizations that serve our community and its residents each and every day. And then the final component is just that social sustainability piece. And this is neighbors helping neighbors, community members helping community members, and just our community really embracing each other and what we really envision for ourselves for the future. And so therefore, we've just really hit every single component of sustainability and really embracing that sustainable future that we wish for all of us.
Absolutely. And Susan, from a city perspective, this really just seems like a project where everybody wins, whether that's partners, nonprofits, students, other residents, right? Is that a good assessment of that?
Yeah, I always say it's a win-win-win-win-win situation.
Lots of wins.
So
lots
true.
of wins.
To infinity.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back to resource recovery, identifying the need for this event, there were these anecdotal stories of sort of this panic at the end of a lease where furniture would show up on the back of pickup trucks and nothing wrong with it. And people would drive into the resource recovery plant and just kick it off the back of a pickup truck. And there's this great story about a complete set of oak bedroom furniture that somebody just offloaded off the back of their pickup truck, and it hit the ground, and it was so sturdy that nothing happened to it. They don't make furniture like that anymore. And for that to go into the landfill, it just seemed tragic. And anybody that drives around and sees when lease turnover happens, you often find yourself sort of rubbernecking, like, wait, that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Why is that out there? And so this is the outlet. So let's not have that stuff end up at the landfill. The waste diversion aspect of this, I cannot stress enough. That has been the reason that we've done it, because at the City of Ames, we're responsible for ultimately finding a home for garbage. And when that garbage ends up at resource recovery, then the final step of its final resting place is something that the city undertakes the cost. And so this is waste diversion because there's a cost involved. And if we can not be the final resting place for those items that are still useful, that saves everybody money. So it's really important to remember that when you throw something away that still could be used, there's a cost to that. It's for a lot of things, there's the hidden costs, and the disposal of waste, particularly waste that shouldn't be landfilled, we all pay. And so this is a great reminder of that, and a really wonderful opportunity to get that stuff into somebody else's hands.
So let's walk through how this works to kind of have those items ready for Rummage RAMPage. If someone wants to donate something, what do they need to know?
I think one of the first things to consider is this an item that still has some beneficial use? And I think we kind of, have come up with this general statement of, other than an item not maybe matching your decor, et cetera, or your family's needs, would this item be perfectly fine? And would you be would you be fine with it being in your own home, right? Is it in a condition to be in your own home? And if not, please don't bring it to Rummage RAMPage. But in general, we're looking for anything that you find in your home, and even that you might be using in your yard, or furniture, anything you can think of in your home that is still in good shape and still has some useful life in it. The things that we aren't accepting are things that have a health and safety consideration. So that becomes mattresses, that becomes older cribs before safety standards were in place. That also includes car seats, bicycle helmets, those sorts of things we're not able to take. Those are items that should be disposed of. But otherwise, honestly, the creativity is expansive and exponential as far as what we've seen and what can come to Rummage RAMPage.
Okay. And so knowing that if they have things around their house that even are still in good shape, they just don't fit, they don't need them anymore, they don't use them anymore. I think my wife would take any decor that I've picked out and it would show up at Rummage RAMPage. She has her taste and I have mine, but that's how that would go. And they can just bring them there. And you guys are taking donations throughout the week. There is a little bit of change to that this year as opposed to previous years. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we kick off our event on Friday, July 24th. We begin accepting donations at noon. That goes until 6. On Saturday through then Thursday, we are taking donations according to the posted hours for the event. And of course, Saturday is our big kickoff, 8 a.m. Sales starts, but we continue to take donations throughout. We are changing this year that last Friday, which is the 31st, we are not taking new donations. And that really stems around the fact that we found that a lot of donations oftentimes will come in at that last minute, like right when people get off work on Friday, they'll say, oh my gosh, we should take something to Rummage RAMPage. So then what happens is we're left with a lot of items we're not able to sell on Saturday.
Because that's only half day also, right?
That is actually from 8 a.m. to noon.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're dropping something off at work and we're ending sales on Friday at 6 o'clock, that gives us a very small window in order to sell those items. So we just want to make sure that as many items can get to homes as possible and are not inadvertently going to the landfill.
Okay, so now let's flip it around. Let's say I'm coming to shop. What should I expect while I'm there?
Well, I mean, you can use your wildest imagination because you just never know what to expect. I would expect a crowded day on opening day. The line can be a block long just to get in. And there are some diehard shoppers in this community, and we love them. And so what we do is the Ames Intermodal Facility has various levels, and we do have the levels arranged kind of like a department store.
Yeah.
So you'll have your housewares on one level, you'll have your outdoor gardening equipment on another, rare and unique finds. Everything is marked. The specific areas are marked with signs. There's pricing around. We really price things to sell. We have a whole upper level of furniture, bedroom sets, couches, entertainment centers. We have an electronics section. So we expand the floor as needed, and we contract the floor when things start to sell. But of course, we tell people what you see today is not necessarily what will be there tomorrow. Our inventory changes on a daily basis. We joke about new products coming in. People will see a truck coming in. They will see something they want, and they will hover by that truck until it's priced and placed, and they will get themselves a great deal. And our goal is that people have an enjoyable experience, that they find that bargain. That's what it's all about. It is a fun event that people go to as friends. They go in groups. They make a day of it, and maybe they come back during the week. So as Bill, you mentioned, you see some regulars, year-to-year regulars, day-to-day regulars.
Well, and we've also found people travel from out of state. This is becoming a destination event as well.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of people there. So just recapping real quick is Friday, July 24th, that is going to be a donation day only, right?
Correct.
That's the opening Rummage RAMPage. And then you do donations again through Saturday through Thursday of that next week.
Correct.
But sales start on Saturday, the 25th at 8 a.m. And those will actually go all the way through the next Saturday, which ends at noon on that day.
That's correct. Okay. Yes. There are different times for the sales. So just to be advised to go to the City of Ames website. Also, we'll have signs along Lincoln Way,
Absolutely.
Big highway signs letting folks know about when the hours are. That last day on Saturday, something for folks to keep in mind, that's half price day. So
half price day.
We open at 8 a.m. Everything is half price. And as we continue through the remainder of the sale, we have bargains, lots of bargains.
And if you are looking for for that calendar, if you're looking for anything like that, it's cityofames.org/Rummage RAMPage, where you can go to get the schedule and to see what's happening, as well as Susan and I were posting on Facebook multiple times every day during that whole week.
I do the same.
So yes, absolutely. So, okay. So a question, what are some of your favorite, maybe they're the strangest, the funniest items that you've seen donated or passed through Rummage RAMPage over the years?
I think for me, it was the stage coffins.
From actors.
They were a Halloween decor, and they went actually very quickly. I have a picture of one of my kids resting in the coffin. It fit her perfectly. That was a fun one. And then the year that the plants started. One year, somebody asked if they could drop off a house plant, which I thought was quite thoughtful. And I just thought, oh, nobody's going to want a house plant. But they have been very popular. And I think last year we got about a 6-foot tall house plant.
Yes.
And we posted it on Facebook. And I had a very tall student stand next to it to show, in scale. And the minute after I posted that, somebody said, I want that. I'm coming to get it. So that's been fun. Plants are very popular.
It has been fun. I think for me, it's the navigation through my childhood that happens at every Rummage RAMPage. So many items that, individuals will recognize from growing up, seeing at grandma's house, et cetera, and so on. And also a lot of very practical items that I swear should still be on sale in stores, but they're not. Mm-hmm. And you'll come to Rummage RAMPage and you'll find that perfect little item or big item. And of course, the prices are phenomenal. And I would say without doubt, everyone has a treasure that is awaiting them at Rummage RAMPage.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about impact. Last year's event was another record breaker for you guys. So what kind of numbers are we talking about?
Last year, we diverted 131,000 pounds.
Wow.
And we raised over $72,000 that is then shared amongst the nonprofit organizations and Iowa State student organizations that volunteer at the event. So
speaking of the nonprofits, what type of nonprofits are represented here that are volunteering?
Well, we really have our nonprofits representing a facet of sustainability. And so we have nonprofits that are representing different facets of our community and community coming together, that they are supporting different initiatives that are important within our community, whether it may be, food security, it may be health and wellness, it may be education. And so really there is a connection to ensuring the sustainability within our community. And for Iowa State student organizations, if they're a recognized student organization, of course, representing, supporting different facets related to sustainability at Iowa State, then they can be a part also. And this year we have 52 organizations that are participating organizations.
Yeah, that's great.
We do get inquiries every year about how to get involved, and there are just a couple of rules. People often will reach out a little bit too late. We actually start planning this event probably in January of each year, and then by April we have meetings. So certainly contact us if you're interested. Our contact information is on the website. Just some general rules. You have to be a 501c3 or an Iowa State University supported club, and you need to be in Story County. This event is specific to Story County because Resource Recovery serves Story County, and so we want to make sure that people in that area are benefiting from the event. And so those are really the only ground rules with volunteering.
Okay, and so before we get into our lightning round, can you just remind everybody when Rummage RAMPage is taking place this year, where we can find it both physically and if we're looking for information on the web?
Sure. Rummage RAMPage starts on Friday, July 24th. We start with donations at noon. Mm-hmm. Then we have sales starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday, the 25th. Sunday, the 26th, sales start at 10 a.m. Sales go until 6 every day, regardless of what time they start. Right. And donations can continue. And then Monday through Thursday, we have donations and sales from noon until 6 p.m. Friday, just sales only, noon until 6 p.m. And then that last Saturday, we kick off again, half price sales, 8 a.m., and the sale ends at noon. This event takes place at the Ames Intermodal facility. There is an entrance on Hayward. There's also an entrance on Sheldon to be able to find. Parking during the event is at no cost. So individuals should be able to come park, enjoy their shopping, and support our community.
And then once again, the website is cityofames.org/Rummage RAMPage. Okay, so let's get into the lightning round. So I'll ask you a question and the first answer that comes to mind. So what is the first thing that you look for when you go to a rummage sale?
I look for the unique thing, the thing that sticks out at me, the thing that I can't find in just shopping at a store.
Okay. And then so we mentioned some items that cannot be donated, but what's an item that people bring in all the time that shouldn't be donated?
Christmas decor.
Christmas decor.
Maybe children's crafts from camps.
Oh, like finished crafts. Like my kid made this. Okay.
Macaroni frames. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So would you rather organize a garage, a basement, or an attic?
None.
Yeah. I have to say.
Or a parking ramp, maybe? Is that what?
I get my fill, too, at the event.
From 10 years of doing this event, I think we have really come, a lot of people working on this event have really come to an understanding that sometimes we have too much. So. Okay.
All right. So would you rather have a vintage treasure or a modern bargain?
I would want a vintage treasure.
Vintage treasure.
Okay. All right. So in one word or phrase, finish this sentence. Rummage RAMPage is...
Community.
Hot.
Well, Mary and Susan, thank you so much for joining us and for everything you guys do to make this event happen each year.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
And thank you all for listening to Ames in Focus. Whether you're cleaning out your home, moving apartments, hunting for a bargain, or simply supporting local nonprofits, Rummage RAMPage is a great way to help your community while keeping usable items out of the landfill. To learn more about donation guidelines, shopping hours, or to schedule a pickup, visit cityofames.org/Rummage RAMPage. The 10th annual Rummage RAMPage runs Friday, July 24th through Saturday, August 1st at the Ames Intermodal Facility at 129 Hayward Avenue. And we hope to see you there. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. And remember, one person's clutter is another person's $2 bargain.
Ames in Focus is a City of Ames podcast.